Okay, so we finished our pass with the fly cutter, just to make sure that these two blocks are the same height, and we're going to make sure that our grooves are the same depth in each block, is why I made that initial pass. So anyway, here is the math. I want the grooves about 20 thousandths apart, and we are turning at 260 RPMs. So here's what I did, 260 RPMs. So we got 260 divided by 60, that's 4.33 passes per second. And I want 20 thousandths between each scratch for the vent lines. By vent lines, this is what I'm talking about. We're going to try for a nose pour mold, and we want the vents to let the air up and out away from the bullet as the lead pours in. I don't know that it really matters which way the scratches go. You could probably even cross hatch it so you had air move in each direction away from the bullet. I just feel like if it's going up and out away from the bullet, you're going to get a better result. I've got molds that are done both ways with crosshatch and with the vent lines moving up and away, and they both seem to do just fine. I've also got bullet molds that are totally smooth, and they seem to do okay too. So I know the general consensus is to vent the air out of the cavity as you pour the lead in. So that's what we're going to do here. So anyway, 260 RPMs divided by 60, 4.33 passes per second, 20 thousandths between the scratch. So we're going to go 4.33 passes times 0.020. That's our forward movement of 0.0866 inches per second. I'm going to times 0.0866 times 60 seconds in a minute, 5.196 inches per minute. Set that out of the way and turn the little DRO on. We were at 5, so this next cut we're going to take at 7. Let's move it up out of the way. Oops, wrong direction. And we'll come over past the first block. We come plenty past it, and that should be okay. I'm going to move back down to 7 thousandths. There we go, 7 thousandths. Lock that in. That should give us our 2 thousandths deep cut. Then we're going to set this at 5.19, which about 5.2. And that's just a frickin' shot in the dark on this thing, if that's accurate or not. But that's what we're going to roll with, and we're going to see how this thing works. It doesn't matter if the scratches are exactly 20 thousandths apart. I mean, that's just a number I pulled out of my to use. So zoom back out, put a little oil on them. And here we go. Oops. I kicked out on reverse, so I went up to high range, which I'm in the back gears back here. So I need to go to low range. And there we go. 6 inches per minute. 5.196. Which, like I said, I got no idea if this is 5.196. It's showing about just a touch over 5. So it'll be fine regardless. If it's not, we'll face it off and cut it again. So here we go. That is flying. And that looks pretty good. I'm going to stop it as soon as it quits the cut. And shut the mill off, and hopefully, of course it didn't. Hopefully we can get this thing back. Okay, we're past that, past the edge of the block there. So let's move forward to the next block. Yeah, dang. Okay, there we go. So when this is in the back gears, it's awful hard to spin that spindle. So let's crank it up again. And there again, we kick it to high range. I can't stress enough how much attention you got to pay to little details when you're doing this stuff. Low range. I've screwed up so many more than one part by just being in a hurry. And here we go. As soon as it comes off the part, you want to shut it down. If you're doing it the way I'm doing it here. Let's wipe this first block off. Okay, there you can see the vent lines are all going the same direction. And that's a pretty rough finish. If this were tool steel, you could make a file out of it. So, and it actually probably would be a file if you were going to try and file some aluminum or something. So there we go. I think we're done with that. Let's raise the quill up out of the way. And we'll back this guy up. Let's back it up. Let's wipe these off. And we're going to put X's on the ends of these things. Just for our next step, we're going to want the X's together. First, we're going to just kind of hit these on a piece of sandpaper. Knock the super high rough edges down. It should still leave us our vent lines, and we're going to clean the rough edge here. Not so much one here because the cutter was cutting into it this direction, but there's a little bit of a rough edge off of there, and a little bit of a rough edge off of there, and that end. So we're going to hit them with the file, just kind of clean the corners up. And say just a couple of passes on a piece of 220 sandpaper on a flat surface, and then we'll clean the vise and get ready to drill for the locating pins.